So please welcome on stage Professor Manivannan, Bejoy, and Ramesh.
A very good afternoon for everyone. Thank you very much. And today's session is quite thought-provoking, and I spent time with both Professor Manivannan and Bejoy. So before jumping into the panel discussion, what makes more context in looking at XR, we're looking at the 4 pillars which defines the XR ecosystem, which would be the key thing is content, creativity, followed by how do you put everything into a context of in a level playing field, which is education. And I would request Bijoy to take us through, because anything what we do in XR cannot be isolated without AI. So AI is the underlying current. So I would request Bijoy to put a 10-minute context around what he does in this forum in the space of XR content AI. And similarly, request Professor Manivannan to give a 10-minute blurb on what is happening in the IIT ecosystem, and then we go into our panel discussion. Good?
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you.
Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Bejoy. I'm the founder and managing director of Phantom. We specialize in visual effects and animation, and we are recently venturing into AI as well. Since AI is evolving and technology is always evolving, so VFX and animation is also intended to evolve with the AI. So we are doing a lot of research and implementation of AI tools into the pipeline as well recently. So let me start with a small presentation of what we do so that you get an idea on what we do exactly. Can you play that first clip? So that's something that we worked on recently. So whatever you saw in the screen, all the graphic and visual effects was done by...
That's the content piece. So I would want you to show something on the creative piece as the AI so that we can set the context and connect to the audience.
I'll just give them an introduction on what we did in that. So what you saw there was completely created by Indian artists, so none of that videos that you saw, of course, the shoot was happening outside of India, but all the visual effects happened in India.
Sure, fantastic.
So can you play the next clip, the AI? So this is an example of how we are using, implementing AI as a tool in the film visual effects. So we are using it for pre-visualization. Pre-visualization is an upgraded version of storyboard. So now we were able to show the filmmakers how their film is going to be after the shoot. So that's what you're seeing here is a hybrid methodology where we have implemented AI into the traditional animation pipeline. So the left screen is something that we have animated. It's a very basic animation, but feeding that as an input into AI, we were able to generate what you see on screen. In-house tool that we have created for generative AI.
Your own pipelines in CompuAI?
Yes. Real-time face swaps. So before this, we have to shoot something, and only after the post-production, the director will be able to see what it will be, the output. What the output will look like. With the usage of AI, we'll be able to see real-time nowadays. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you very much. That covers more of your content background and how you apply creativity. And in the panel discussion, we'll expand on the XR angle of it.
Of course.
In the meantime, can I request Professor Manivannan to quickly take us through your angle between creativity, content, culture, and education for getting the XR ecosystem ready?
Thank you, Ramesh. Thank you, Bejoy, for showing your work on the AI and the entertainment angle of it. In IIT Madras or in general, education institute has a lot of role to play this kind of applications. But what is happening is right now, I want to ask you, how many of the tools, whatever you have used for creating this content, is already existing or others' tools or your own tools?
Right now, we haven't created anything of our own. We are using the
Existing
trained
tools.
models and
Yes.
the systems that is available,
Correct.
and using piping it through CompuAI.
Yeah.
And we have created an user interface on top of it.
Correct. So this is where I wanted to highlight that we have to start creating our own tools. Only then we can make a lot of impact. Already, you're making a lot of impact, but much more impact we can create now if we can make our own tool, identify where we can, where we are IIT can collaborate and then help you to make a lot of impact.
Well taken. That's the most important point where India as an ecosystem,
Right.
we should look at building tools.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So that is where now I think the audience also would appreciate me if I highlight the role of academic institutes in building the AVGC. Right now, the AVGC, there's not much academic role. It's all now a lot of the youngsters are getting trained in the schools, but using the tools, not creating the tools. What is needed, next generations need is that we need to teach them how to create these new tools, right? Only then they can we can make a lot of impact.
Fantastic. And that brings a very important point in putting the ecosystem, I think we should have the fourth seat as the audience. And when we are talking about building the XR ecosystem for India, I know a few of the people who are from the industry, very leading and having thought-provoking. In this panel discussion, it's not between three of us, it's the fourth one is an audience angle. And if you have any questions or if you want to add a dimension towards it, because as I navigate through this moderating session, between content, creativity, culture, and education as the pillar, we would like to get into your questions, challenges, the XR, the fatigue, the health aspect of it, and opportunities for collaboration in creating the new India. Whether it's aligned to Viksit Bharat, whether it's aligned to your own company goals. And over lunch, I was delighted to hear that recently Bejoy has acquired one more company back in yeah, and he's expanding. It's a 700 plus company right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, 700 plus companies. So, and at IIT, we do have more coming up, and I would like you to touch base on the symposium, what as an opportunity to take forward. And as a moderator, facilitator, it's the fourth key pillar is the audience. So I would let audience, if you want to start any cues to see that the next 35 minutes, how we do productively in creating that ecosystem, more happy to get the mic going in the audience as well. The organizing team, yeah, please keep them ready. Sir, do you want to take through the IIT a quick presentation so that they know what they can expect from you?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So before I take the presentation, can you put up the presentation, please?
Can we
I-
get the presentation, the AV?
Yes, I wanted to just give an idea about why I'm making this presentation. So we are all talking about the entertainment. I'm a professor of biomedical engineering, coming from the health background, right? All these AVGC tools, along with the XR, it has a much bigger role to play in the healthcare sector as well. Not only the healthcare, there is an education part of it, there's a culture part of it, there is the aerospace. There are so many use cases which is much beyond the entertainment itself. That is what now I'm going to touch upon it. So to address all these different use cases, what is that India collectively can do in the next 20 or 30 years is what I'm going to make a presentation the next 10 minutes. I just take 10 minutes and then we can take for question and answer.
Sure, sure.
Isn't it? So here I had a center called Experiential Technology Innovation Center. It includes XR and AVGC and all these things. This is a highly interdisciplinary center. Therefore, now the faculty, there are several other faculties from several different departments and are there in the IIT Madras. There are other IIT faculties as well. There are international experts also as a part of this center, right? So we started very small, some 20 years ago, right? As a touch lab in IIT Madras. We were the first touch lab in India where we were focusing on the haptics. How do we add haptics to the multimodal experience? Particularly since I'm coming from the biomedical engineering, I was focusing on helping the doctors. We started creating a lot of tools for helping the doctors in training in their procedure, medical procedure, injection, surgery, and several others, right? So in IIT Madras, when we are creating all these tools, we also realize that now we, as an IIT Madras, we have to focus on the fundamentals. The fundamentals is not using the tools, but understanding the human being. All those AVGC XR, it's all created for human beings. The human being is using it. Human being is seeing it. The entertainment is for the human being. But do we understand the human being well? Do we understand the human perception particularly? Only then we can create a good AVGC content. Only then we can create a good XR or tool, right? So it is not about the tools or the hardware or the software, but it is about understanding the human being, which is the foundation for all this AVGC. So this we wanted to emphasize throughout India, and we wanted to train the students in understanding the human being, be it a psychology, be it a computer science, or instrumentation. All these departments, engineering departments or psychological departments, they have to have this basic idea of how the human being is actually perceiving in an entertainment or in any other different use cases. So only then we can become successful is what the whole idea. In fact, I teach entirely different course called psychophysics in IIT Madras, which is a very unique course where we talk about how do we measure now what the user is actually going through mental events. How do we measure mental events? That is what we are teaching our students. Only when we measure it, we can improve on it. Without the measuring, we cannot improve on it. How can we measure the experience of the user going through the AVGC or the gaming or the entertainment or any other use cases? So we need to measure it, only then we can improve on it. That is why we teach this course called psychophysics, so that now we can start measuring it and then creating tools to improve on it. In XR particularly, I wanted to focus on the XR because that is my domain more than the AVGC. XR is much bigger than AVGC is what our take on it is. Why it is? We will deal it separately, but let us assume that XR is much bigger elephant than the AVGC itself, because it is not just the entertainment, and it is now touching upon all the use cases, right? And this XR are because it is very big. We wanted to create a corridor, XR corridor in India. Just like the whole world knows India's IT corridor, we wanted to create a XR corridor. And Professor Steve Lavalley, who is the inventor of Oculus headset, is with us. He's a faculty in IIT Madras. And together, we are building this XR corridor in which we wanted to create next generation youngsters who can go to the international market and then contribute to the international market instead of being known as a cheap labor or digital coolies like in the IT corridor, right? So that is our purpose. That is why we started focusing on the foundations or the fundamentals of this AVGC XR. Without the fundamentals, we cannot go to the international quality. And that is the emphasis, right? For this, we are creating XTIC, Experiential Technology Innovation Centers in many parts of the world, and then interconnecting it. Each center will have this experiential space, skill training centers and manufacturing units and all those things. In fact, in the skill training centers, we are offering the virtual reality course, XR course, now for free. For example, right now there is a course called NPTEL course on foundations of XR, which is being taught for free for 8,500 students. Okay, if you go to Google and search for NPTEL course on foundations of virtual reality, you will find it, right? So this is equivalent, it's almost better than the Stanford and MIT course. Only if you enroll in Stanford or MIT, you'll be able to do this, such a course. Whereas here, such a quality course is given for free. Only for certifications, you'll have to pay minimum 1,000 rupees, right? So such an opportunities we are creating it and then offering to our students so that we can create this XR corridor, right? Along with this XR, this experience space, VR courses and manufacturing unit, we also have a consortium called CAVE Consortium for Augmented Reality and Virtual Reality Engineering, where there are about 300 startup companies exclusively working on XR is there. And there are different compositions, there are different associations, there are different brands, and there are different partners. And this consortium members are also working in different verticals. For example, here is a vertical called AutoCave. Automobile industries, they're all coming together. There are about 30 companies. Now, they wanted to create XR-based tools for automobile industries, right? From design to marketing and sales, or to after marketing and sales, they wanted to create new tools which is not existing before, which is much more affordable, that is being created and as a part of the AutoCave. Similarly, just like AutoCave, we have the educational technology cave, now MedTech, architecture, engineering, construction, media entertainment cave, skills cave, aero cave, metal cave, military, heritage, space, ocean, environment, and fintech. And you can see that almost all walks of life you've covered in this different verticals, right? This is where I was mentioning NPTEL course. We offer it for free, and particularly for industries, so that we can upskill them very quickly, so that now they can start focusing on the now creating the tools, not now using the tools. Maya is a tool, Adobe is a tool. Shall we create our own tool? No, there are a lot of opportunities for us to innovate, right? And we do conduct corporate familiarization workshops, so that we bring them onto our speed quickly, show them what are the possibilities, and then help them to create their own applications, use cases. We also work on the XR policy and standards, and we have the Metaverse India policy, another committee working on the international standards, not just the Indian companies, but also the international standards. We've been now contributing to ITU, International Telecommunication Union, under which we are contributing few standards. And we released white paper on XR in India, where we looked at the skill gap of XR in India, and therefore now where exactly we need to focus together collectively, not only academia, but also industrial together, where we need to focus to make this XR corridor is what now we have looked at it. This is the XR skill spectrum in India. Most of the XR companies in the consortium, they are working on the basic Unity and Unreal level, whereas we are upskilling them to the advanced and the expert level, and then bringing them to the R&D level, so that this XR corridor can be built, right? And we are working on the open source development, open hardware development, XR test bed, and XR newsletter we have, and students body. We are setting up XR club in many of these institutes, and therefore creating the awareness and then training them in the XR, right? And we also conducted XR summit last year. When we conducted the XR summit, now Steve Lavalley and Anna Lavalley, they were the inventors of Oculus. They were here and then given an award to A.R. Rahman, our music director, for making the Lee Musk the XR movie, the world's first XR movie, right? And this year we are conducting the same event, XR Symposium, on November 28th. I request all of you to participate as well. We have a XTIC AAP program, Academic Associates program, where we handhold now few colleges, starting from the XR club to the XR incubations. We are handholding the other IITs as well in the XR, and we have the Industry Associates program starting up. And I hope I have given you some idea about how we are building up this XR corridor. We'll be very happy to invite you to join the CAVE consortium and then contribute to the XR corridor. Together only we can build. It's not possible only the academic institutes or the industries. I'll stop here. I'll be happy to take any questions.
Awesome. Thank you very much for a comprehensive coverage and staying loyal to the topic, leveling up to reality and building up the XR gaming ecosystem. And we should really take the opportunity to see that the Auto Cave, which is one of the largest consortium members, followed by biomedical, followed by space. And gaming, this is a big opportunity for all the gaming community to get in touch and start building that ecosystem of content. And in this content, I will ask Bejoy, looking at your current content, which is evolving from static linear green screen content to now you're going AI generated content. And how much of that content would you see that puts into an XR ecosystem? And the same level of content, if I see on your plate, you speak about NPTEL content with a lot of logos on the education content. So how would you look the future of content play in the XR ecosystem?
Content is content.
Mhm.
So, it is not like AI created or it is human created.
The
but
creative content on
it
your
is
side
it
more.
is content. It's a creative content is what I should say. So, we are evolving as a human being. We are evolving for many millennials, and now in the last 100 years, we have seen so much of an evolution in the filmmaking process, content creation process. So, what started as a hand-drawn, animation uh, has evolved into filmmaking, and now in AI filmmaking and everything. So I think we should just look into the creative side of things, and when it comes to the content making, these are all. I'm just looking all these as tools. So it can be a camera, or it can be AI. It can be a brush that helps an artist to draw. So I'm just looking all this technology as a tool, and the real creative comes from us, is what, as sir said, though we don't have the ability to create a lot of technology like what IIT is doing, but you know um, for us, we are creating content, we are creators. So we are working in three-dimensional space, we are working in four-dimensional space. We are creating content for different consumers. Recently we worked with the concert.
Mhm.
So we created, content using AI.
Mhm.
So, before that, last year, we worked for the same client. We used 3D, animation technology to create that content. Now we have evolved and we are using AI. So I think, we are just evolving as a human being, and, on the way, we are picking up the technology and using it as a tool.
Mhm.
So, the more we evolve, the more we'll be able to create. It can be a content, it can be a product or anything, but the evolution is very important here. So I would say that
Sure.
that's my take.
And how would you look at the educational learning content in the XR world coming up?
Um, yeah, so AVGC can be very, very useful for educational content. For example, some of you may be aware of this NPTEL courses. We have about 20,000
How many of
courses.
you know what is NPTEL in the audience by raise of hand?
Yes.
Yeah.
So NPTEL
50%
course,
of them
for
know.
those who are not aware of it, NPTEL courses are the courses taught by IIT faculties, completely videographed along with the assignments and questions and answer sheets given for free, right? So that rural students from remote area can access and get benefited out of the IIT teaching. That's the whole idea, right? So there we wanted to bring in the AVGC and the XR content. Imagine at the end of every video, every hour of video, if there is a small 10 minutes of AVGC content or XR content, where the students can get immersed into one of the IIT laboratories and then do a small experiment, hands-on experiment at the end of the video course, that would increase a lot of hands-on experience. That's the whole idea. We are now trying it out. So probably in the next 1 or 2 years, you will see all these NPTEL courses along with the XR component will be up there again for free for all our rural students can get benefited.
Very interesting. So that way, when I started this session, when leveling up with XR, I just want to moderate eminent people. So I went and typed on Copilot saying that what is the Indian XR ecosystem being left on it. It gave me the content saying that 4 pillars are the content, followed by the way how to put content into culture, into education, and none but the important thing what Copilot and ChatGPT has come back is the evolution came with this IICT, Indian Institute of Creative Technologies, as a foundation infrastructure, which was done under the leadership of Ashish Kulkarni right there. And one of the most important aspect is the ability to take content and storytelling. And right now we have in hall number 1 an important session on content, because content is the key. We are starting everything with the content. whether it's creative content or this thing. We have content beyond boundaries in hall number 1, which is in the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Yeah, 10 minutes coming in. And that's the place where if we take the NPTEL content and try to put, it takes very slow adoption. When I say slow adoption, you can correct me, sir. The same course on XR, Foundation, you go to any other Udemy, Udacity, Purell site, you spend like $20 to $30. The same thing is available on NPTEL for free. We still get 8,000.
Can I
Sure.
correct it?
Please correct it.
So the kind of quality course we have given in the NPTEL course is not there anywhere in
No, anywhere
any
in the
of
world.
this.
Thank you
Only
for-
in closed door courses in Stanford and
Stanford
MIT,
and MIT would
not
have it.
online courses.
So that's the
Okay.
education content.
Right.
And when I look at the hall number 1, where we would need PhantomFX and all the eminent content creators to bring that content more viral. Because today India is like when I saw your show reel, I was watching when Rajini's AI walking is being captured, that resonates with most of the audience. What would you say? How many of you resonate with the local content which is being mapped on AI motion capture? When you shot Rajini, that's the power of it. So the session what we are getting in hall number 1 is to take Indian content, Indian local content in an AI first economy to a VR and XR first ecosystem. That's where the building of the blocks come through.
Can I add one point over
Please.
here? So since I'm a professor of biomedical engineering, I wanted to bring in that this XR adding to much more content than the in the entertainment content again. So if, for example, in India, we have a lot of well-being focus, right? For
Yes.
example, diabetes.
Yes.
Can we use this gaming in XR to improve the well-being of our people? Let us say, take the XR gaming to the home, not to the hospital alone. I know there are some attempts. There are some few startups who are taking the XR games to the hospital and then using it for treatment and all this. But much beyond the hospital, if it can be taken to the home and then make the diabetic patients to play in the XR, while they play, probably they better they exercise and therefore now they become now better or well-being is actually.
I definitely echo with it. And one of the things with Jedi coming to Chennai and when I'm going through the content, there are 3 sessions which are covering on XR. And XR for health and well-being is one of the track which was done in the morning session. And one of the most important thing as an audience side, we are at 3:22, we still have 8 to 9 minutes. What I would ask audience is, as part of the ecosystem, please ask what would you need. For example, if I echo them and say, if they come to you, what infrastructure would you have? You'd have access to LiDAR cameras. What all would you provide as a professor of practice or as an XR ecosystem for companies to come and collaborate with you?
So I think all the infrastructure, whatever is needed for the consortium members, it is available. So we can share it with
With the people who are coming
yeah,
in
with
and doing it.
as well. Either starting from the GPUs to the the high-end cameras.
Cameras.
Yeah, and the 360-degree cameras or the high-end headsets.
And anything you need also you can ask so that we can put it in the pipeline and try to facilitate
Yes,
and procure
or the
them for
motion
you.
capturing systems, high-end motion
capturing
capturing systems is not easy.
So the building of the ecosystem can happen through a very collaborative approach. Even
Yeah.
the industry participation is more important. Any other thoughts which you want to add in terms of the challenges, what we would face in building this ecosystem for the future?
No. What our government right now is, they are taking initiatives to encourage startups. So I think that is where everything begins. So we can definitely, pour in a lot of knowledge, create a lot of students, but where will they go? So we have to encourage startups. So I think our government is definitely taking a lot of steps in terms of encouraging startups. And in this field, this industry is having a lot of potential, especially with the latest technology evolving, including AI and stuff. We have a lot of potential and we have very bright students. We have very bright candidates who can come up with the next perplexity kind of, revolution. So I think
Definitely.
that is where we have to start. We have to encourage our youngsters to, think beyond working for someone rather than, you have to create your own, ecosystem. You start giving jobs to others is what I would,
Fantastic.
say.
So at 3:24, 6 minutes I'll let for questions. Mukund, any facilitation for questions before we do in the next 6 minutes? Please raise your hands. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. That's nice. Another 3 more questions to cover 6 minutes. And in hall number 1, we have something on content. That's where I would head from here.
Thank you, sir. It's a very wonderful session.
Sure,
I have many questions, but I'll put in 2 questions first.
sure.
To Bejoy, yes, AI in content creations, yes, is must. But coming to the enterprise level, still there's a lot of challenges. What about security guidelines? See, sometimes, right, the customers ask, provider should take the responsibilities. And the providers, says customers should take the responsibility. That's what, they're still not able to leverage AI in the content creation. So what do you advise on the security aspect? That's the first question. Second question is to the Manivannan sir. Sir, yes, of course, India is a service country. We are bringing them to, product-based country. When this should happen? And, all the academic level, still the students, we are giving this, test for the programming concept like that. When the things will change to make it as a product, and as a biomedical, haptics, you brought in a very good, see, haptics gloves, pretty costly. Is there any vision to make, high quality in the low cost haptic gloves from IIT Madras? 2 questions.
Regarding the security and stuff, it's still a gray area when it comes to AI. For example, Disney, in their agreement, in whatever project that we are working with Disney, in their agreement, they say that there should not be any AI generated content included in it. But Netflix, who is now the biggest, player in the OTT arena, they are encouraging us to create content in AI. So there is still a gray area on what to use and what we should not use. As long as it is not going back and picking directly from somebody's artwork, it is still acceptable. Getting inspired is fine with them. So we are still in the gray area in terms of the security and the content security. And we are encouraging our own people and others to train our own models and create content out of it. So I think going forward, that would be the right way to do it. So that's the answer, I think, for your question.
Thank you, thank you. And beyond that, what we'll do is, as the ecosystems get ready in the next 2 years, all the masters in business law course curriculum would get evolved with content on copyright laws. And how do you synthesize content, and the whole movement between the Writers Guild of copyright protection would also evolve. And that will be a very strong pillar of the future. Thank you. That's a great question, Kadirvel.
And one more thing, I'm sorry, he asked
Sure,
another
sure,
thing.
please.
So when it comes to the quality that you asked for, of course, it is not yet production ready. We understand that, from our demo itself, we would have seen, it is not yet there. But that's why we are, including that in a production pipeline called pre-production pipeline. We are, instead
We have 2
of just
minutes
creating
left.
storyboards, we are
Short answers
creating
that we can give
pre-visualizations
options to
out of the
other people.
storyboards. And using our hybrid methodology, so we are feeding the AI model with our base 3D animation, and we are rendering out photoreal outputs using that. So it is still a long way to go, probably at
You
least a couple of
inspired him
years.
to speak. It's a two-way communication. We are here, nobody. I would take myself when stepping on the stage in AI first economy. We want to get inspired by trying to inspire you, and your question is really thought-provoking. We'll take it further on that. And we still have 2 minutes and
So
2
one more
more
question,
questions.
guys.
No,
One
no,
more question.
let's answer one line for the infrastructure
Okay.
one.
So
on the
about
haptics.
the haptics. Now I'm glad you asked these questions. Now all the Apple phones have our small contributions. So the reason why I'm saying is that now given the use case, we can now make it very, very affordable. But right now haptics doesn't have the killer applications. if you can tell us from the your user's point of view, if you can tell us what
We
is
can
the
do a
killer
project around
applications,
it, or we
then
can do
we
applied R&D around it. Thanks. That's
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
329, last question, please. We want to stop on time. Yes.
Yeah, hi. Myself, Manivannan from TCS. So my question is like XR itself is more computational things. Like it takes more time and more resource to do the computational part. And I could hear news like we are in shortage of that kind of computational CPUs and DPUs and GPUs kind of thing. And I could see news as that infrastructure is getting developed with the support of the government as well. But just wanted to understand right now how you are managing. Is it really of that shortage in doing the computational part, or is it too high in cost? So just a little more light on that.
The whole world is moving to a data-first economy. The
Yeah.
Google setting up their
Yeah.
$14 billion center is an answer from the government. And IIT would have the high compute what you are trying to set up.
Correct.
Please.
So, of course, no, you are correct. We need more computation to do the better realisms. To get the better realism, we need more. It's always, as we compute power increases, better resolution and the realism is keep increasing it. So, but every time, I think depending upon whatever is possible, no, we have to limit the realism, whatever is possible at that particular time. So that's the whole idea
Sure.
of it.
With this,
So,
sir,
yeah.
I sorry for
Ramesh,
interrupting. We
Ramesh,
want to stop
no.
on 3:30.
No, that's fine. There's a
No,
there's
I have
delay.
a nice way to say it. Two other hands which raised hands, don't feel that we are not giving you audience. We are available on stage. We are available at that CAVE consortium. And I would request to keep this conversation going forward and want you to be part of the panel by doing something innovative and breakthrough in the next 12 months. Wish you all the best. And thank you very much, Bejoy and Professor Manivannan, to be here. With all due respect, Jai Hind. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.